If we're being completely honest, trim, insane. I do need a barber of some nature to get my shit right ASAP, because I shaved my head and I've just been growing it out ever since, and I don't know what I'm cooking. Like, I actually do not know what I'm cooking. Maybe an afro.
I'm spitting game like Warren Buffett. Yeah, I just dropped some shit, but got another one in the oven.
I noticed that everyone should be constantly updating their firmware and constantly upgrading into a version of themselves that they've never been before. So be patient in becoming a version of yourself that you've never been before. Learn yourself, give yourself some time to look back at what you've achieved so far. If you told me a year ago that I'd be making almost $10,000 a week, I wouldn't believe you. But now I'm here, I don't even really care. And I haven't even really looked back and looked at what I've achieved. I don't know how many of you experience this or feel like this, but even if you have achieved a lot, when you want to achieve so much, it's kind of hard to look back and be happy about or impressed with how far you've come, because you know that you are only just getting started. But I just feel like we don't really give ourselves enough flowers for real when it comes to what we've achieved and how far we've come. But I do definitely understand when there is so much that you want to achieve that it can be hard to do that. Another thing I realized is you are the company that you keep. You are who you hang around, and I'm sure a lot of you guys feel like this as well, but I notice when I'm around certain people, I'm a better version of myself, and when I'm around certain people, I'm a worse version of myself. My homie told me a story from when he was younger, and he basically told me that sometimes you don't know how much someone is holding you back until you actually separate from them. So it's just important to audit who you're around, how you change when you're around certain people, who's providing value, who's providing venom, and really look and be introspective of your traits, what you do with your time when you're around certain people. And if being around certain people detriment you, then you need to take yourself out of that environment. You are a product of your environment. Choose the environment that will best develop you towards your objective, being locational, being who you're around and what you're around. Analyze your life in terms of environment. Are the things around you moving you towards success, or are they holding you back? And as you start to discern what's serving you and what is taking away from you, you might realize that you're almost better off being completely isolated and alone than being around certain people. And that sucks, but that's the game, baby. You might have to be lonely for a little bit until you find the right people, but you'll never be lonely if you've got that guy in your life. Amen. Hope you're enjoying your holidays, and hope you're not taking your foot off the gas this time of year, because me personally, I'm not, going 10 times harder, but even I know I need to be applying more pressure. So if I feel like that, then you should definitely feel the same way. So here's to putting in everything. Last 4 or 5 days been like hot as fuck, storm, lightning. I was like controlling the sky and stuff. Shit was crazy. Should have seen it, should have been there. I want to be able to grow a beard. Honestly, can't do it. So if anyone's got any tips, please leave that in the comments. One of the things I'm excited for when I am rich as fuck is to just get like a few nice, really comfortable cribs in nice places. Attention is the new currency, and you know it. But instead of focusing your attention on a worthwhile, meaningful goal, you're focusing it on cheap dopamine. Most people do not wake up obsessed, ready to attack their mission, ready to start building something bigger than themselves, but most people wake up, instantly grab their phone, and start scrolling. The chances that you're still watching this video is already super low. But 99% of you won't even make it to the end of this video. The only reason I'm telling you this is because I know for a fact that if you do not address this, then you will never become the best version of yourself. I've spoken about this in previous videos, but you need to understand that the one thing that will prevent you from reaching your dream life is distraction. You do not have the time to be distracted. Being distracted is my biggest mistake, and it'll probably be yours too. I promise you, if you start to cure this gradually, then your entire life will change. You need to understand as well that this is a significantly hard thing to overcome for one specific reason. Literally everything that you see on your phone is deliberately put there to keep your attention for as long as possible. Cheap dopamine is anything that gives you instant gratification, but at the same time takes you away from your dream future. There is real dopamine and there is cheap dopamine. Things like junk food, porn, scrolling, gaming are all cheap dopamine. They feel good while you do them, but they are taking you away from your dream life. Now, all of those things are bad, but I'm specifically talking about the consumption of content because this is something I see literally every single person struggle with. And I know for a fact, as someone who makes money from content and has become a creator, that I struggle with this a lot more now that I have to be on social media. I can't just delete it off my phone because I need it to work. I want to give you guys the most simple fix, but it does obviously take willpower. All you need to do is try to shift from unconsciously using social media to consciously using social media, or mindlessly using social media to mindfully using social media. If you're going to pick up your phone, first ask yourself, why am I picking up my phone? Do I need to? And a lot of the time you'll find you're picking it up out of habit. So make sure if you're going to use your phone or social media at all, that you're doing it from a conscious place. Another thing that I found helped me, although I had to be on my phone more, was creating. If you're not making money from social media, you may as well just delete everything. The best way to actually get a positive from social media is to go from consuming to creating and start actually putting something out there into the universe and into the world, because then you will get something back from that. You reap what you sow. This is by far one of the biggest things that I see stunting people's personal development: distraction. I'm not saying this is easy to conquer, and I still haven't conquered it myself, but if you are able to start taking steps in the right direction to overcoming the distraction that you get from social media, you are already ahead of 99% of people. I've said it before and I'll say it again, there's one thing that is a really good cure to this and a good cure to everything else in your life, and that is obsession.